Life is full of questions, but what if the most important question isn't about finding answers? What if it's about embracing uncertainty? We live in a world that craves certainty. From school to career, relationships to personal goals, we want clear answers. But what if that constant search for clarity is holding us back? Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt more confused the more you tried to figure it all out? We've all been there. We think that certainty is wisdom, that knowing the right answers means we've figured life out. But what if wisdom doesn't come from certainty? What if it comes from embracing uncertainty? Answers give us comfort. They make us feel in control. But here's a question that might change the way you think. What if needing answers is what's really holding us back? The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. But what does this mean for us in our everyday lives? Think of a time when you were trying desperately to figure something out. Maybe you were obsessing over a decision, what job to take, who to date, or even a moral dilemma. The more you searched for the right answer, the more frustrated you felt, right? I've been there too. We all have. But here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes letting go of the need for answers leads to clarity in ways we couldn't imagine. It's when we stop trying to control everything that the real insights start flowing. Look at any great discovery, any groundbreaking idea, and what do you find? Uncertainty. Not knowing is often the starting point for real breakthroughs. Scientists don't begin with answers. They begin with curiosity, with questions, and most importantly, with an openness to being wrong. The same goes for artists, creators, and innovators. Think of the risks they take. They step into the unknown not because they know it'll work out, but because uncertainty is the path to something greater. It's a bridge between where we are now and where we could be. But this doesn't mean uncertainty is easy. It can be terrifying. Not knowing where you're headed feels like walking into the dark. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you really grew by playing it safe? When was the last time staying in your comfort zone led to true wisdom? Here's where things get exciting. Embracing uncertainty doesn't just make you more resilient, it makes you more creative, more open, more capable of seeing possibilities that certainty blinds you to. The world stops being black and white, and suddenly you see color, you see nuance, you see opportunity. Think about the people you admire most. Whether it's entrepreneurs who've taken risks or artists who've challenged the norm, they didn't get there by knowing everything up front. They started with a question, with a willingness to be uncertain, to fail. And that uncertainty led them to greatness. So maybe uncertainty isn't something to avoid. Maybe it's something to lean into. Wisdom doesn't come from having all the answers neatly lined up. It comes from being brave enough to ask questions, to explore without guarantees, and to grow in the process. When you embrace uncertainty, you allow yourself to grow beyond the limits of what you already know. You create space for wisdom, for discovery, for the kind of knowledge that comes not from certainty but from exploration. Thus, next time you feel lost, remember, maybe the key to wisdom isn't in finding the answer right away. Maybe it's in sitting with the question a little longer. So, what question are you holding on to today? And what would happen if you let yourself not know the answer for a while? Maybe the greatest wisdom comes not from knowing, but from wondering.